tuned in the past 2 weeks, you know that I've been sharing my favorite accessible destinations. First was cities, and you can watch that video here. Followed by beaches, watch that video here. Which left me with what may be the hardest category of all. I thought for a long time about what to call this, and realized that the best title is simply Accessible Adventures. Not that you can't have an adventure in a city or a beach, but it just seemed like the best catch-all term. If you're new here, my name is Brooke. Hi, nice to see you. I am the founder of I'm Outta Here Travel, where I plan accessible adventures for anyone and all. For someone with mobility challenges, the idea of doing something in nature might seem out of reach. And while I can't wave a magic wand and make everything work smoothly, I'm here to tell you that even with mobility challenges, you can still experience a lot more than you think. So here are my favorite ideas for accessible adventures. I'm focusing on accessibility for those with mobility challenges. If you have other accessibility needs like a severe food allergy or autism, no worries, I'll have a video coming out for you and your specific needs soon. With these suggestions today, I'm going more general than specific, but I'd love to do future videos taking a deeper dive into each category. Question: would you be interested in seeing these videos? If so, please let me know in the comments below and I'll add it to my future videos list. Let's dive in. My first category is adaptive hiking. Some nature trails have paved paths and little elevation change. This makes it easier for wheelchairs and other mobility devices. One that I did recently was the path along the Virgin River in Zion National Park down in Utah, where you can admire the tall red canyon walls and the water rushing by. Another example is the Ansan Jarak Trail, hopefully my Korean is good enough there, through mountain forests in South Korea. This one is close enough to Seoul, major city, that it's easy to access and has great skyline views of the city. They've also included many rest areas along the path with benches for those who need to sit down from time to time. For a more urban adaptive hike, you might enjoy the High Line in New York City. This paved path sits just above the urban bustle on a converted old freight rail line. There are many elevator access points to get up to the path, where I always feel part of the city, but a more serene version. If the water is more your jam, you might be interested in adaptive sailing. Specialized equipment makes transfers in and out of the boat possible, and adaptive boats have special seating designed for those with mobility challenges. A majority of adaptive sailing destinations are here in the US, but also the Royal Yachting Academy in the UK has a program called Sailability, which includes a network of 200 accessible sailing sites around the country. Back here in the US, primary adaptive sailing destinations are found on both coasts, such as Seattle, Annapolis, and Boston. If surfing is more your water sport, please watch my video from last week on accessible beaches, where I talk about Australia's commitment to accessible surfing. Now, if you have mobility challenges, I have a treat for you. Something that you thought may never be in your reach. An accessible safari, isn't that super cool? As someone who went on safari in South Africa almost 10 years ago, I know how amazing it feels to be steps from game animals. And I'm thrilled that many tour companies have made safari possible for all abilities. There are safari companies with step-free lodges and roll-in showers. Further, many companies have committed to specialized accessible vehicle boarding. I'm a big fan of safari and could talk about it for a long time. In fact, I've recently developed relationships with a few African tour providers who are committed to accessibility, and I'd love to do a special video on that specifically in the coming months. Let me know if you're interested in the comments below. These are just a few ideas of adventure activities you can do around the world, even with a mobility challenge. They truly lean into my mission statement that everybody deserves to travel. I would be honored to help any of you plan your next accessible adventure. When you're ready, reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who would enjoy the content. Keep on traveling, and see you next time.